In this problem, we're once again going to take a look at subtracting two trinomials. And we're actually going to look at it two different ways. Because one of the things we have to be careful about with these types of problems, and especially with the subtraction problems, is being careful about the subtractions, the positives, the negatives. So I'm going to show you a couple options which you can incorporate into your work, whichever one you think is going to work best. And later when you pause the video, you can record in your notes either one of these examples, or if you want to see it both ways, both methods, go ahead. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do subtraction like we did in the last video, except before we do that, so we don't make any mistakes with the idea that this is the main operation, subtraction of the two trinomials. What we're going to do is we're basically going to distribute that negative sign or that minus sign so that I can rewrite the problem as an addition problem. Y to the third plus 6y squared minus y, and then plus, and then we're going to get rid of this subtraction sign by actually distributing it to each term in the second trinomial. Negative 9y to the third. When I distribute here, this minus sign and this minus sign will cancel out, become a plus. And then this minus sign distributed over here, we get minus 3y. By doing this, we avoid making the mistake of skipping over the subtraction and accidentally doing something like addition. By changing it to addition, we avoid that mistake. So here we get this problem. So now we can go through it just like the last video. We look for like terms. Same variable, same exponent. So 1y to the third plus negative 9y to the third would be negative 8y to the third. Positive 6y squared plus positive 7y squared would be 13y squared. And then negative 1y plus negative 3y is negative 4y, and we get our answer. So that's one way to handle that issue with the subtractions. It helps us avoid some mistakes, especially with the positives and negatives. Now, our other option is something called the vertical method, where you treat the problem a little bit differently. And this, again, helps us to avoid making mistakes. So I'm going to take the original problem, but I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to recopy the first trinomial, y to the third plus 6y squared minus 1y. And then, to help us avoid forgetting about the subtraction, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the subtraction right here, really big in a giant circle, so I can't miss it. And then below the first trinomial, I'm going to put the second trinomial that I'm subtracting away. 9y to the third, being careful to put it specifically here where the y to the thirds can line up, minus 7y squared plus 3y. And this is called the vertical method for obvious reasons, is we're going to work vertically in each column as opposed to working horizontally. So here we've got y to the third minus 9y to the thirds would be negative 8y to the thirds. 6y squareds, and going again back to our gigantic minus sign here, 6y squareds minus negative 7y squared, which actually be plus, so 6 plus 7 would be 13y squared. And negative 1y minus 3y, well, negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4y. And we get the same answer that we got here. It's just a different way of going about it. Alright, so in your notes right now, you can go ahead and either copy down the example in yellow or the example in green, or if you want to, you can record both down. But I would be making a decision in terms of what you think would work best for you in terms of avoiding mistakes, keeping things organized, and just ordering your work.